Hi everyone, this is Chinthy and you're watching Channa 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 podcast.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of my podcast. We have a very special guest today joining from all the way from Melbourne, Australia. We got Chinthy. Hi, Chinthy.
Hi Channa, how are you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thanks.
So, how's the situation in Melbourne? I heard, there was a lot of COVID situation there, right?
Yes, of course. It's kind of getting uh, reducing right now. It's a good thing. But you'll never know, because um, s- it can come back again. That's how it is.
Yeah.
It's, now it's going on in Sri Lanka, so I don't know. It's
Yeah, because
hopefully,
people, when things are getting better, then people, they become careless and they don't really, you know.
yeah. I think some people don't take it seriously,
Right, right.
and some think it's a hoax. Something it's not true, and some just don't care.
Right.
And and the best part is that people really want to go out, and it's been we are we are at home for a
Right,
long time, so people need to go, at least take a walk. So
right, right.
yeah. So
So
hopefully it ends this year. I hope to God it ends this year.
yes,
That's
yes. So also us, like I'm in Manila, Philippines. So we've been locked down from March 15 still. So it's really, I'm really struggling mentally because going out, and it's very hard without actually being able to go out.
yeah, true. E-
Yeah. So
Everyone's working from home.
yeah, it's it's of course safety is first, but eventually we should look at mental health and stuff, because it's not really good to just
Exactly.
work alone,
Yeah,
isolation, right?
yeah. I'm used to it. We are always in studios working alone, so I'm sort of used with other. The only part is that I didn't actually get to go out on tour.
Right,
I was supposed to perform in Italy and England
right.
uh, in July, but everything got cancelled. So that's the only part that I'm missing. Other than that, I'll be at home, always in the studio. So
Right. So did this COVID sort of situation gave you some time to like write new material, focus on your songs and stuff?
um, I'm always writing songs, Jen. That
Right.
happens. Just yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a good. No, it doesn't make a big difference because, like I said, I'm like always in
Right.
studio if
Right.
I'm not going out. Like so, I've been working a lot, and the only part is that I'm supposed to work in my studio in Sri Lanka,
Right.
and I had to cancel that, and I'm just working online. So doing things, con- handling stuff from here.
Right. 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 So Chinti, I think I met you one time or twice, maybe with Big Doggy. I went to your place. I think it was like 2004, 2003. I think that's the first time I met you.
I think it's ages ago. It's long time
Yeah,
back. Yes.
yeah. It's way back, like 2003, 2004. Chiti, can you tell me a little bit about your childhood, and then how do you got into like music?
My childhood. I was born. I grew up. I grew up in Nigambo. I was born and raised in Sri Lanka. I grew up in Nigambo,
Right,
and I studied. My school was Maristella College, Nigambo, from zero to high school. So that was the place, and I loved. living in Negombo. Still love living in Negombo.
Right.
I still think I am in Negombo. I really miss Sri Lanka because because I need to travel because I always travel, so I just need to be there. That's the best place
Right.
to be. And so talking about my childhood and my music career. Okay, music. It just happened because I wanted to I wanted to make music, become a singer when I first saw Michael Jackson around like when I was 4 years old.
Right.
It was the biggest influence in my life to make music. I heard Billie Jean on radio. I think I was going to uh, kindergarten, and the morning SLBC plays Billie Jean on radio, and
Right.
I asked my mom who is that? Like I wanted to how Billie Jean sounds on the speakers, so it's a it's a crazy song. So
Right.
anybody would love it. So when I heard that, I asked my mother who is this, and she said she doesn't know. She'll find out for me. So she did, and my dad got me the Thriller cassette. They knew Jackson 5, but they didn't know Michael Jackson
Right.
because Jackson 5 is coming from the 60s and the 70s. But Thriller is Michael's second breakthrough.
Yeah.
So from then onwards, I wanted to become a singer. But it was all around. I mean, I was all my life. I've been just trying to uh, write songs and make music when I was in school, and did my first recording when I was 16 to like in a studio, like a professional recording studio in Sri Lanka where Clarence used to record. So I had to just get that tape, and in the back of the tape it says Clarence
Right.
recorded at this studio, Sean studio. So I had to find the place and go there and record. So it's a great experience.
What was that
You can't
song that
listen to it.
what was the first song that you recorded?
It's called Lava. It's a dancehall track.
Right.
Yeah,
So, how did you
it's
get
really
into like?
bad. You can't listen to it.
So, how did you? I mean, you have a big influence on hip hop as well, right? So, how did you get into like hip hop and rap?
Yeah, hip hop and rap is like I I like since when we were like 9 and 10, we started listening to rap.
Mm,
So there was CNC Music Factory, Milli Vanilli. I
right.
know you have all the vinyls and you have a huge collection. I know about that, Channa. So
Yeah.
I, I know you know what I'm talking about.
That's not the
So
real.
we
That's
had,
not the real Milli Vanilli, right? You remember that
yeah, that's not
that
the real
issue?
Milli Vanilli. So we had CNC, Milli Vanilli, and NWA, which I wasn't allowed to listen to it
Right.
in. Yeah. So I had to play when my dad wasn't at home. So I had a tape of NWA, and so from all these three cassettes, I loved NWA.
Right.
So then I wanted to do rap music. After that, I became a huge fan of Ice Cube and Dr. Dre, Easy, and then I started uh, like then the Chronic came out, Dr.
Mm,
Dre, and
right.
then Doggy Styles came out. So um, now it's like '94. Then I'm like 15 years old, and it was
Mm,
So then I started, and also I loved the dance hall tracks from Shabba Ranks
right.
and Supercat and all those dance hall artists. So I wanted to just, and more especially Informer.
Snow. Right.
So
Snow. Yeah.
Snow. So it was a great time where those songs came out. Like, it was a time that, like, I don't know about charts. I can't even think how all these songs was in charts, like in the top 20, when you had like so much of hit songs, like not like these days. I don't know what's going on right with the artists right now, but you had a lot of tracks uh, um, in the top 40, like, from in the same time, like,
Yeah.
93, 94, 95. So
It's
everything after 2009, it's a disaster.
Yeah, now it seems to be there's so many music coming out, but they're not really hits, right? Because before top 40 hits were really top 40 hits, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now it's different. It's social media and music and how they promote the stuff, and
Right.
but it's a good thing that social media helps a lot of artists to release their music. So it's a good new platform for everybody, so that everyone will get a chance.
Mm.
Not not like back in the days where we had to, I used to get kicked out from radio stations trying to hand over my demo. It never worked.
Right. Yeah. So when is this? So you sort of have your own. You started your sort of a label, right? Like you have your own production, Chronic. So how does
Yeah.
that idea came? How did that happen?
Well, when I arrived in Australia in '99, um, so I was studying as a student, and during that time, music. I had to be with music all the time, so I just wanted to make music. When I came here, I just thought um, maybe I would try something here. So we had like um, recording music. I just tried to. I recorded music here, and I had a band called I.R.C.
Right.
and we were just we didn't know what to do because we were just kids, and we were planning on recording music, and we were looking for recording studios and stuff. And that time, like 20 years ago,
Mm.
it wasn't. We didn't have software to record. We had to go to a recording studio where they had uh, proper, typical hardware stuff like in studios.
Right.
No software, and computer isn't the thing in the studio. It's just uh, hard disk recorders and reel-to-reel tape. So uh, we we wanted to record music, and we had a couple of songs ready, and so we were just thinking about a name for the label. Like,
Right.
as we have to be an entity to release music,
Right.
like a legal entity. So then I came up with Chronic, and so that was it. And but later on, um, the band we broke up, and I was anyway. I had the label name and everything, so I just went forward with that, with my debut uh, Sokare.
Right.
I did the production, and like as a middle label, uh, I released my first two albums through Chronic.
Right. So who are the members of I.R.C. Chinti?
They were like uh, actually my cousin Sohan, and there was another DJ. He actually died, passed away
Right.
from an accident. It's a DJ. Anjan, and it was more than a band. It was a gang, actually, a
Right.
group of guys who, and we were like, so the members then. when I came to Sri Lanka and started to record my debut, uh, uh, Big Doggy and Anton
Yes.
joined as I.R.C. the next new members after I
Right.
left Australia.
Right.
So they were the other crew from then onwards. So we actually got together and performed at uh, uh, TNL on stage.
Right.
So that was the start of I.R.C. in Sri Lanka before after Australia. So we had a band. The band in Australia was I.R.C., but actually um, when I left, the members they got in together and they came up with another band. And this band is actually it's not a hip hop group, but this is like a funk and reggae and funk band
Right.
in Australia. So I'm sorry, I couldn't tell you that the band members was Rukshan and Sumedha, Saman, and all these guys were there. Still, they're my best friends. You know, we are actually hanging out and stuff. So,
Right.
but then after that, when we came back, it was Doggy and Anton, and we just did some uh, good tracks with back in the day.
Right. So IRC, the Sri Lankan meaning is really gangster, right? IRC.
Yeah, yeah, island registered criminals.
So
Yeah,
I remember Chinthi buying your first album. So the locally you released it as Sokare, but it's you have in Spotify now as Rising from the East, right? But locally you
yeah.
released it as Sokare. I remember buying that
Even
album.
in locally the album was called Rising from the East, but for marketing purposes, uh, the publishing label they used as Sokari
Right.
for promotions.
Right. I remember buying that album and I really loved it. Even Sokari.
Oh, thanks.
Before doing this podcast, I was doing a live stream. I started this internet radio thing. So I
Yeah.
started the session today with Sokari actually.
Uh-huh. Thanks.
Yeah, because I really love that song. It was kind of controversial, right? That song when it was released.
Yeah, it was. It was. That was a time like now you can say now we have a lot of rappers in Sri Lanka. They do a lot of things and say a lot of things and really good. I mean, I love this stuff. And
Right.
uh, but back in the day when Sokari came out in 2006, and there was nothing like that, and nobody ever said anything. And it's not on internet, but it was on national television.
Right. Right.
So that's why it became controversial because no one's supposed to go on TV and say something like that. And I just said Panirasa Kama Devagala Kansa Bonna Gela. So
Yeah.
yeah, and
The-
mostly, and I actually didn't. I wasn't like I didn't actually think about the what's going to happen now. Will they play my music again, or will I be kicked out, or they are they going to ban me, or I never cared. So it was and it really worked, and it made me a star. You
Mm.
know, yeah, and uh, I got a lot of opportunities and everything after that album. So it was a great, unforgettable uh, CD. And
Yeah.
how
You,
I said,
yeah, I see a couple of this Rupahini interviews. So it's like a variety show. You were there, and then you were asked to sing that song, but you had to like beep that. You
yeah,
didn't you're not allowed to say that word, or you didn't say it right when you're singing it.
yeah. In Rupawahini, actually, sort of. Uh, I wasn't expecting Rupani to be that cool.
Right,
I thought Rupani will say that, no, you get out or something like that. But no, those people are really cool. Uh, they never said, I actually um, uh, I was surprised and I was happy, and I actually didn't want to do a change to their program standards, so that I said that I'm not going to sing this part because you always maintain a standard,
right,
and
right,
it's not ethical for me to do that, do or say things which which I mean not not appropriate. So then it never happened. Then I didn't do it.
right,
But there were times that on other stages, people came up to me, like media people. They came up to me and said, "Chinti, please don't say that word." And but I purposely did say, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
There was another song that I really loved on that album, "Me Jeevite," right, and "Guilty As."
yeah.
So can you tell me about that, because it's really very nice song.
Oh, that was also written for my first album. Uh, it was about uh, we actually shot the video in Nigambo, but it never came out.
Right,
Yeah, uh, because I had a problem with the production. I wasn't actually doing video productions at that time, and I had to give it to this guy who didn't do a really good job, and he actually sort of lost the tapes.
right,
Those days we used uh, tapes to record, like even for music videos, like the beta tapes. And he actually lost the tapes, and it was
oh,
never found. And I had to spend a lot of money on the video, but at the end, there was nothing. So, but the song, I really loved it, and uh, I wrote it when I was in Australia before during 99 or 2000. But
right.
then I took like uh, 3 years to record that album, and it came out in 2006. I started in 2003.
Right. This that first album also kind of introduced. You had Big Doggy on that album, but he had a different name on the album, right? Sankara or something.
Well, he still uses it. He's still using it, I guess, as a rap name. Big Doggy, yeah, Big Sankara. He,
Yeah,
he,
Sankara.
he, I think it's his name, Sankara Gay. So I only
Okay,
told
okay.
him to use Sankara. Yes.
Right, right. Yeah, pretty nice, because you had like two songs, I think, on that album. It was really good with him,
Yeah,
right?
because I wanted to do I wanted to do album for I.R.C, like Big Doggy, Me, and Anton, like another album,
Mm,
but it never happened because after coming up with my solo, I wanted to work on that, but it never happened because we had to go on our separate ways, and then Anton passed away, and I
yeah.
couldn't actually do anything about it. It wasn't like, it was just like, I think he passed away in 2007, I
Yes.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sad.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
um, so, Chinti, that on those days, the image I remember of you is, you were sort of that you were wearing the jerseys and the the NFL jerseys, and you sort of had that hip hop, even the Nari music video. I also remember you performed on stage somewhere, I think Sirasa or some other show. You performed
Yeah,
actually Nari, right, live.
yeah.
uh,
That was the first performance with me and Doggy and Anton.
right, right,
Anton actually wrote Nari. Most of the verses, and I did the choruses and the rap. And Anton
right.
did the verses. He's really a very talented person.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it
he
didn't
was
take that.
really.
Yeah, he didn't. I mean, it didn't take that long for him to write the lyrics. At that time, he was at my house, and I
Mm,
just showed him the song, and I just showed him a few lines, and he just wrote it within 5 minutes. It was really fast, very talented.
right. But from that sort of that the hip hop sort of image, you sort of passed that, and you became very pop, right? And then like you did a lot of collaborations. Can you tell me a little bit about working with, like, you did 2 songs with Rainy, very
Yes,
reggae influenced songs, right?
yes. It wasn't pop, but it was reggae. The only thing I can go from hip hop is reggae, or
Reggae,
it can be dancehall.
right,
So actually the song that I did with Rainy, it was there in my computer even before I made Sokare.
right,
Yeah, I composed that track in 2004 or something. It was there in my computer, and after I released my second album, I was in studio one day. I was just going through the files. I was playing, playing all the songs that I have made, and this song came out.
right.
Then I just thought, it's a good. I want to do this, and just I thought of getting right into the song, so I just then she came. Uh, I never knew her before that, and she came. So after she came to Sri Lanka, she came directly to my studio, and we just started recording. And I can say that she's very humble and and so easy to work with
Mm.
and very talented.
Yeah,
And
because
song became a hit.
yeah, I mean, her parents are both well-known singers, talented singers as well, right?
Of course, wow, yes, yes. I'm a huge fan of Rukanta. I
Right.
love his music. I mean, it's. I think. I think that he's a singer-songwriter, and you don't find a lot of singer-songwriters in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
I've seen Clarence Vijayawardena. I've seen Rukanta Gunatilaka, and I'm happy to say that I'm a singer-songwriter. So
Yeah.
uh, that's I love his music and the chord work and everything. I love those two guys. They're the best. Uh, yeah, they really made a difference in Sri Lankan pop music.
I don't know if you remember this Rukanta song, the Gigante. Actually, that's the first Sri Lankan song to be played on the world chart show, right?
Yes, of course I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah,
So, Chiti, one more video that I really like you did. The song Mata Suraloke with, you had, that's a really nice video concept and really fun video.
yeah. It was really fun shooting, because uh, I had like my DOP. It was just me and my DOP and my best friend Ramita. We all went to Bandarville. Actually, that's where my grandparents used to live.
Right.
We still have the house there, but they both have passed away. So, as a replacement of my grandma, that's where uh, Irangani Singh comes in, and so that's the house there. So I just it was just that a thing that I wanted to do. It's nothing to do with hip hop. It's a reggae track, and I
Yeah,
just wanted to do something crazy. And this uh, song, I love these adventure movies, and going and there's this thing called Australian thing called going walkabout.
right.
So it's a aboriginal thing, and when you think you want to go out, you just go walkabout, and,
Right.
yeah, it happens in Crocodile Dundee. That's where when I first saw walkabout. So uh, this is something like that. You go walkabout, go everywhere. You just getting you're hitchhiking.
Mm, yeah.
So I wanted to do a hitchhiking video, but we
But it
were
but it was so cool, right? You're hitchhiking, and then who's this actress Dilhani is picking you up on the car, right?
yeah, of course. Then she kisses me, and uh, then I get to go on the train right over the Modara Palama,
Right.
and then I just go to this. Then the next location is Belihulloy, where I meet Madura, the Rasta,
Right. Right.
and he passes me uh, a weed pipe after smoking. Then I give him watermelon,
Right.
and it was really fun. And we just suddenly we see this guy who we didn't know. He appears in the middle of the video, and yeah, it was really fun.
Right. Yeah.
And then,
It's really fun.
yeah,
Really fresh when that was released. Chinti, it sounded very fresh song, very very clean cut reggae song, and very fun to really listen to.
yeah,
I really
thanks.
enjoyed that song when it was released.
And when it came out, was released. Actually, that was the time Hero TV started. Like Hero TV actually started broadcasting
Right.
for the first time. So they played this song over and over again. Uh, so that was an era that they played like the last. After that, all these TV stations they went after doing reality shows, and they just stopped playing music videos like that.
Right.
But that video got really uh, good airtime.
Yes. It was really nice video. So after Sokari album, you had another next album in 20. Next album is Kadappuli, right? In 2012.
Yes, yes.
Was that put out as physical or it was only digital?
No, it was physical.
Right.
Uh, yes, physical and digital both. But the the record company had another album ready to go out, but they were not doing a good job. I can say that.
Mm,
So uh, I had to just then I had to start up my own company and release my music independently.
right. But
So
Kadappuli album, it's from Sokari. It went more towards the hip hop and that sort of more because
yes,
I
Kalapuli
had
album
some.
is more hip hop.
Yes.
Yes, more hip hop, and yes, from
Uh,
Sokari album there were some R&B tracks,
right.
but Kalapuli album is like totally hip hop.
One of the
But
great
it was a
songs
good
on. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Chinti. One of the
So
greatest
you were
great
saying?
songs on that album is Tittai Panirasai. It's like very 1989 song.
Yeah, 1989. That's where uh, that's the start of gangster rap in like where
Right,
NWA is starting, and I had I played that G-Funk gangster lead
right,
which I have used in the track. So and also Tittai Panrasai is most downloaded ringtone uh, as a hip hop song.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, according to Etisalat in Sri Lanka.
Right.
So they just told me that, and they were not supposed to say things like that because the record company never wanted to give their statistics to their artists,
Right.
which is so unethical. Uh, which doesn't happen in other countries, but sad to say that it really happened. And but I was so happy to hear that, and I wasn't actually entitled for that uh, portion of happiness. Uh,
Right.
so, but I'm so glad that that happened because I was able to start my um, new company and being as an independent uh, label and release music after that.
So it's so you're owning the music and you're responsible, and that's how
Yes,
it works now, right?
yeah, here I have nobody to answer. I'm just I'm my own boss. It's really great, and I have a great distributor,
Mm.
and everything is up to me to decide. So when I own all the tracks, our company owns all the copyrights, so it's great.
Yeah. Right. One song that you collaborated on the Kadupuli album, you had Shiraz on one of the songs, right?
Yeah, of course. That was Loki Sarai.
Yeah,
He
Lokesh,
actually
right.
came. He actually came to the studio with a huge bunch of weed, a bag of weed, and he travels with that. He has his own box and his a shot glass with his scissors and all these papers and stuff in his bag. Yeah, came to the studio. Working with Shiraz is like he's like my like a like a big brother,
Right.
like my big brother. He's really a nice guy, a very humble person,
Yeah.
and that guy is like like one of the oldest rappers in Sri Lanka. Like not by age, but I mean by like whoever did it like
The first.
uh,
Yeah. I
for the
think they're
first
like one of
years.
the first bands. Rude Boy Republic was like one of the first.
Exactly, officially, because when Rude Boy Republic and uh, Brown Boogie Nation were performing on Ya TV stage,
Yes.
I was at home watching them on TV and thinking, how am I going to get there? Because I had when I saw that, I had my demo recorded already, but my song never came out. Like I didn't know how, being in Nigambo and being like 16, I didn't know what to do with this tape in my hand. I don't know how to go. I didn't have
Right.
contacts. I didn't know. And when they showed the RTV through TNL TV, and there was a show in even Bhatia came. There was no Santosh. I think Bhatia came and sang "Arranged Marriage" by Apache Indian.
Right.
So saw all these guys performing, and I was thinking, how am I going to get there? Because I don't know. I never knew. It took me. So that's when I even saw Shiraz for the first time, and then actually working with Shiraz is great, and it's really fun. When he comes to the studio, I have this in Sri Lanka. My studio is actually in the attic,
Right.
and there's this. So he goes up to the balcony, and smoke outside, and fun to work with you, Shiraz. It
Yeah.
was a great track. Got I love the song, and the crowd loves the chant. Loke Sarai. So when we sing it, they sing the chant over and over again, on stage. So
Yeah, I have actually chat with Shiraz couple of times, and he's really humble guy. And then I remember Chinthy, I think 1998 or I don't know, maybe 97. I was able to watch Root Boy Republic one performance. They performed in Intercontinental Hotel. So
Okay.
I'm not sure if it was the first lineup or it was Shiraz with some other guys, but it was first time I saw, and I was really lucky to see them because now you cannot see them anymore, right? It's
No, no. And
uh,
Brown Boogie Nation, yes.
yeah, there was an album race. They had a Colombo project, the compilation. You remember they had Bhatia, they had Roots Boy and Brown Boogie Nation. They all those songs were in that compilation.
Um, no.
I'll
But
send
I
you the
heard,
yeah.
but
Yeah. Go ahead.
I heard one of the songs once in TNL radio, Group Republic.
Right.
It
Uh,
was this.
Yes, I'll send you the link because the producer of that album actually put that album on SoundCloud. So the whole album is on SoundCloud.
Really?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
I have the
wow.
link. I'll send it to you after this because
Okay.
it has Brown Boogie early Bhatia. You know when Bhatia were doing like those ragamuffin style songs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's totally Apache Indian.
Yeah, they had
Yeah.
that. They had Cancer. They had Independence Square, but not Independence Square. They were called Wreck before Independence Square. They were called Wreck. So all these songs were on that album. I'll send you the
Yeah,
link.
that was the time I'm talking about, Channa, because I knew this is happening, but I couldn't actually get there.
Right.
Then I had to to leave to Australia for studies, and all these uh, my friends they used to bring all these Sri Lankan teledrama tapes, video tapes, and
Right.
we used to watch them and at the end there were like musical shows, and then I get to see these two guys performing, and they were Bhati and Santosh,
Yeah.
and I
When they
just yeah, that's when I first saw them. It was really nice, and
Yeah, actually,
I was like,
when they came out with the Vasante album, that was really cool album, right? I think it was 1997, maybe.
no, no, it's
No,
99. That's
99,
99, I guess.
99, right,
Yeah,
99. Yeah,
99. So that's when I first saw them. I was thinking to myself, like, this is what I always wanted to do, and these two guys are doing it. No, no way that I'm going to go back. I'm going to Sri Lanka and do my album. So that was like in 2001. So then I had to go back. But those guys really opened up
yes,
for everyone. It was really great, and I love their music. And, really, I mean, they should do something again, like a new album or something, because it's because I like their music.
yeah, yeah. Um, Chinti, one more song that I really love on that Kadapuli album is you had a very great, nice video also, Machang.
Yeah,
Where was that shoot, that video?
the first shot in St Kilda, Australia,
Right.
and they're like, and the real I.R.C members are there, like most of the guys who are in that video, they are there. So. And some of the guys who are there are two guys, like some of the guys, uh, I mean, we're all friends, and some of the guys are like really, how can I say it, uh, like most wanted guys.
Okay.
Uh, yes, and that's why that's all about I.R.C back then. So now now it's all, it's now they are in the 40s, and it's everything is changed.
Yeah.
But that was really, and the police cars you see in that video are real policemen. They're
Right.
not like actors or anything. They really did came because of the noise and everything. They wanted to stop the party going, and they came. So just we just told them we're shooting a music video. We're gonna put. Then they were like, they were okay with that, and I got their permission. Us. So
Yeah, because that music video sort of gave that feeling of you're maybe in LA or Long Island or somewhere, like with the hip hop, like Long Beach, that hip hop
yeah,
crew and that vibe.
yes,
Because
that was a
Machang
good.
Machang in Sinhalese is kind of like homie also, right?
Yes, actually, the album was called Macham.
Right.
It wasn't called Kadapuri. What happened was Duka released Vasanta Dugga Naral, Duka, Duka, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So he's the one who wrote the song Machang and even Kadapuri, and he wrote a lot of songs for me. Even Sokare was written
Mm.
by Vasanta Dugga Naral, and uh, he had to release his book called Ahankara Nagari.
Mm.
He came up with this book and he had this launch before my album came out. So the Machang concept, Machang, the word Machang was never used on a song was that word, even though we used it
Mm.
uh, among our friends and stuff, it was never used on TV or it was never used in media. So it was Duka's idea to use Machang on my album. So he said, Malli, why don't you call it Machang? It's a great title for your album, and let's have this song, and you can go like that. So before the album launch, he released his book, Ahankar Nagar, and in this book, Machang song was there, with the title Machang and the lyrics.
Mm.
And maybe like after a while, before my album came out, the Machang movie came out.
Ah, okay.
And I think the Machang movie original name was Handball. And I think I'm not that I think I know that they took the title from that book and they used it on the
Right.
movie. So the movie is the actual name of the movie was called Handball. It's a good movie. It's a great movie, but they took the title. So
Right.
then I couldn't. Then it was all gone. I couldn't use that title anymore.
Right.
Then I
Right.
said. So then I had to come up with another track, a title track for the album. So then I had to write another song. So then I just came up with this new tune and I gave it to Duka and he said, we had this discussion about how the title got stolen and it's not. So then he came up with the no, let's forget about that. Here's a new title for you. It's called Kadapuli. You can use it. So then that's what. So so then we use Kadapuli.
I
So
mean,
that became a hit too.
it's that guy has like Duka has like done so many songs for the new artists, right? That generation of your
Yes,
generation.
yes, of course, he worked with yes, my generation. I think he worked with BNS, Raj, myself, and other artists. I mean, Duka is really a very talented guy, and he's educated.
Right.
I think he has a financial degree in finance or something
Yes.
like that.
Yes. Yes.
But he
Management, I
knows
think. Yeah.
I mean, management, and he is from Anuradhapura, and he's from a very. Sometimes I even get into his shoes, and it's the right song. I mean, Duka is like a very. He's a. I don't know. It's just like a whole big package when you use Duka. We used to go there. We used to live in Piliandala ages ago when we first started,
Right.
and I mean, to get us to get the lyrics, we go there, and until he write the song, we sit and wait. When I used to go there, I'm gonna see. I'm in his office room, and I just sit there. So he just uh, walks around and in his house, and only go get to the kitchen and get some food and come in. We just eat from his kitchen, from his pots and pans, and it was really nice, and it was a great time. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, Chinti, you started saying that your first sort of influence was inspiration or influence was Michael Jackson, right? So, I remember you released one video which kind of following Michael Jackson's Beat It and Thriller sort of
Oh yeah, it was.
yeah. That was
Yeah,
Vanamal, right?
that is
Vanamal.
something that I wanted to do. Yeah, Vanamal, but it was like the video. I mean, the song didn't do that well. I don't know because uh, that disco funk, even though the disco funk came back again
Mm,
in the European charts, Sri Lanka wasn't taking it, and disco funk really came back in 2010,
right,
from 2012 with that track "Get Lucky" by Pharrell Williams um, and Daft Punk.
right,
But in Sri Lanka, they didn't really pick it up, so that song didn't do that well.
right.
But I always wanted to do like, I mean, it's really, video like "Beat It" is my favorite track from Michael Jackson songs.
Right.
That's the best song I ever heard. And I mean, even Eddie Van Halen's guitar solo is crazy. I
Yeah.
mean, you can, yeah, you just that's the most greatest guitar solo ever played from me. That's that I
Yeah.
heard. So I always wanted to do a video like that, but it's not that. You cannot compare with that. Nobody
Right.
can do. Nobody can be like Mike. I've seen people imitate Michael Jackson. It's just only Michael can imitate Michael. So
Right.
it's really, yeah. So I mean, you'll be inspired, and he's like it's a legend. So wanted to. I've seen people dressing up like Elvis. Uh, in some something wrong with the internet. So I think it's a normal thing to do.
Yeah, but for me, like for example, being a Michael Jackson fan, when I see that video, I see those sort of colors and props and what you're wearing and all this, the gang people joining
Of
together.
course,
So I
yeah,
it's really oh wow, this is like Beat It or this is like Thriller.
yeah, yeah.
It's really fun to see for us because I mean, I'm also a huge Michael Jackson fan. So
Hooray.
yeah,
I've seen your record collection on Facebook. You have a lot of vinyls, right?
yes, I have a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to get some of my stuff from Sri Lanka because I have like your album and all these Bhatia and Santosh, all these albums I bought every Krishan and all these whenever those came out because I was really supportive of, because like you said, living in Nigambo and there's nothing, we didn't really had a lot of exposure to get this music, right? So whenever somebody comes up with something new, I was really supportive of it. I will go to Colombo to see the band if I can. So those days I bought a lot of those albums, Six Lane, Centigrades, those
Yeah.
albums that came out. So I had all of them, even though I was more into rock and metal, but I was
I
really
don't know.
supportive.
They don't release CDs anymore in Sri Lanka.
Right.
It's not really available, and what happens is that anybody could get 100 songs to a pen drive
Right,
for 100 rupees at a normal, like a communication center,
right,
and it's illegal, and but they just do it, and that's what really happens, and people really do that, and we are used to get stuff for free, so they just download all the songs for free.
right, right.
And I mean, there are people who will buy CDs in Sri Lanka still.
Yes, I was hearing some stories that even the albums that you put out in like in Apple Music, they're like making MP3s and they're sharing it in WhatsApp groups and stuff. That's a big
Yeah,
problem even now, right?
yeah, it happens, Channa. But the thing is, whoever paid for those albums back then, there are two kinds of people. There
Mm,
are people who pay and people who don't.
right.
So even if there are CDs now, people will still who are willing to pay and buy, they will still buy them.
Yes.
And who are not, who never paid even those days, will never pay now. So it's just like that. Even it's here everywhere in the world. It's the same. The only difference is they don't, in Sri Lanka, people don't want to use a credit card online.
Mm,
So that's where iTunes doesn't really uh, do happen.
right, right,
But back in the day, we used to sell a lot of CDs, and according to Sri Lanka, I have about 9 platinums. See, a
right,
platinum is like a million albums in USA,
right,
but it all depends on the population in the country. So Australia has the same uh, amount of same population as Sri Lanka. So here, as in Australia, if you say an album goes platinum, it's around 8,000 albums. It's not 1 million.
right.
So in Sri Lanka, if it's like same, we have not even me. It's like for Iraj and BNS and the centigrades. We all had about a lot of they sold a lot of CDs back in the day. People really bought them,
Yeah.
including you, and even cassettes. So I don't know. I mean, they could they still do it. I mean, come on, they still here in Australia, they still really sell vinyls. People still buy vinyls, and you can get your masters uh, vinyl pressed in Australia if you want.
Mm,
Make it like 100 copies. I think I sure hope you can do it in Manila too.
yes.
So you, there is vinyl pressing there, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
yes, so they can still do it, but they don't really. There's no such company or organization to go ahead with that. That's the problem. So
Right.
that's a bad thing.
Yeah. So, Chinti, one more thing now, you, I mean, as an artist, you write your songs, and but you also got into like producing other people, right?
Yes,
So, can
that's
you
what I
tell me a
really
little
do.
bit
I
about? Yeah.
produce a lot of artists. Actually, I uh, even now I do a lot of producing uh, for hip hop artists, not only Sri Lankan but European.
Right.
Um, most of the time, I work as a ghost producer. You don't get credited, but you
Okay.
get paid. Yes, but it's good, and it's sometimes you'll be. I mean, like I know that this beat is made by me, but it's just not my name there. So that's okay as far long as I get to make the music and I get paid
Mm,
as a company. So I have produced for a lot of hip hop artists in Sri Lanka, and that's what I do actually. And
Right,
I'm also trying to. I have a lot of songs made for my next album, but just because of this situation, I actually want to shoot music videos, but I never. Right now, we cannot do anything.
right,
Only 5 people are allowed in a shoot, but I think it's not really uh, allowed yet. So that's the whole thing.
right. So you produce also the Spanish artist Carmen Lubrano?
Yes, she. I uh, met her in Italy, and she's an amazing singer, songwriter, and she worked on my Barakamadula,
Yeah.
and I'm supposed to, uh, and I did some more tracks for her as well. I produced a couple of songs, which actually still in production because I was supposed to go to Italy in July
Mm.
to shoot her video, uh, which is um, which was not possible uh, because of the COVID situation. So hopefully I had to be there next year to finish Carmen's work.
Right. Because I saw her I saw on her album you also have a track with her, right?
Yes, and I have another uh, two songs made for her album.
Right.
So those are the songs that I'm talking about, and they're really um, reggaeton tracks. Uh, I'm just waiting to release them as soon as possible, but need to shoot the video for that.
How did that idea came to do the Varaka Madula, like, her singing in Sinhalese?
Well, at the start, no, her first two words is she has to sing the title.
Right.
I always want, I mean, you know, and I didn't want to show. We shot the movie in Spain, as the video in Spain, but uh, I never wanted to show where it is, the location. That's not necessary. It's just a studio shoot.
Right.
But I got her to sing the Sinhala words so that it's a good. I mean, whoever the song, it's a Sinhalese track, so whoever comes can be anybody, and they have to sing in Sinhala, my
Right.
dialects. So and people, that's where you can. I mean, you can connect with all Sri Lankans. Uh, I mean, uh, Sinhala.
Mm.
So I was just thinking about title. I mean, people can think. I mean, it's a very easy song to remember. So people loved it, and
Yeah.
it's a hit.
Yeah, because sometimes it's like a foreigner singing in Sinhalese. It's actually fun to have that, right? When somebody else, some other nationality is singing a Sinhalese song, it's really
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't actually thinking about that, but uh, it was also a good another. It's an add-on actually.
right, right.
But she sings in Spanish actually. The one who sings in Sinhala is Rafaela.
All right.
That's in Lasana Tiduna.
Lasanati Idunu, yes.
Yes.
That video,
I
Lasanati Idunu also you when if nobody knows who Chinthi is, if they don't know that you're from Sri Lanka or something, they might think that you're like from Mexico or some like Latin American guy, right? Because
oh,
wearing
yeah.
the cowboy hat and like a typical Mexican.
Yeah, I just wanted to make it look funny. That's what I wanted to. That's when I wanted to wear the hat, and to have really have fun in the video,
Right.
and hoping that someone could laugh at me, at least. So I just wanted to wear that huge hat. Hope it was even bigger than that. That's the biggest I could find.
Right.
So
Yeah. So, Chinti, did you had a chance to listen to Doggy's album?
then yes, of course, love it. I
Really
mean, I've
good,
been
right?
waiting for that guy. Been waiting for that guy to release his album. It took so long. He actually wanted me to do some tracks for him. I actually did a few, but well, I think we could include only one
Right.
song from mine, and uh, so yeah, it's a great album. But I actually wanted him. I mean, I told him that if I wanted to give him do more songs for him for that album. So, but actually didn't have time, and we couldn't actually do it.
Mm,
I mean, it was really planned. Suddenly he just called me and said that I'm going to release my album, and that was it.
right.
Yeah.
So, Chinti, what's your message to your people who supports you, who listen to your music? What's your message to them?
I mean, my message is like it's to support. I mean, if there is a way of not even for my if you can really not share uh, downloaded tracks and uh, to stop I mean if you could like really buy and support the music industry so that we could really produce and bring more hits. That's the
Mm,
only message. But I want to say thank you for all the fans and friends who supported. Like it's not, I cannot say it's support, but they uh, really had fun. They enjoyed. I enjoyed performing on stage. There's nothing greater than
mm,
performing on stage. That's the most greatest thing when I hear the crowds cheering when I get on stage and when I hear that noise. I always think that is uh, God's sound. I always thank God on stage because like like a like when people they really when I hear that sound, so it's really great, and I want to thank everyone for being there for me. So that's really great. I mean, that's what an artist the that is what an artist is always expecting, and that is the greatest thing that an artist could have.
mm,
So I want to thank the fans and for uh, playing and promoting and for enjoying my music all these years, and they're the people who really made me a star.
right, right.
Without them, I wouldn't actually be anywhere. It's not the radio stations, it's not the media. They're not. We made it because our music is dope, not
Right.
because anybody was helping us. Nobody actually did because they never thought that we would be hits or we would become famous or nothing like that. They just had to play our songs because they just wanted to get their program airplayed. That's all. I'm just speaking the ugly truth.
Right, right,
So, and I don't care anymore. I'm just not really after that. So, the truth is that the fans they loved our music, and still they do. And so, I just want to thank them so much for the greatest love and support.
right. So, Chinti, thank you for joining this podcast. I wanted to talk to you for some time, so finally we were able to do it.
Yes, thank you so
So,
much for having me, Channa.
yes, I
It was
really,
great to talk to you
as
and
I
good to
said,
see you after a long time.
Yes, as I said, I'm a big fan of you from day one. So I really, whenever you put something out, I watch. I watch. I really enjoy it. So
Oh,
keep
thanks.
keep making music, and then all the best. So
Thank you so much.
thank you, Chinti. So have a
Thanks.
great evening.
Okay. Okay, Channa, you too.
Thank you.